What's up guys, Justin here of Tech, and Huawei's P series is one of the most popular smartphones in the market. Known for sporting beautiful designs, premium materials, flagship specs, and amazing cameras, this year's models are highly anticipated. However, the P50 and this P50 Pro came out differently. Some liked it, some didn't, but if you want to know our take on this, then just keep on watching. Right off the bat, we can say that this Huawei P50 Pro looks beautiful. It does seem like a refinement of the Huawei P40 Pro, but in a more elegant way. It still employs a metal frame with a curved glass back and front, which the brand didn't really specify. Either way, it looks high quality. Locally, it's available in golden black and this cocoa gold that we have, which looks even more premium. Up front, we get a 6.6-inch OLED screen with a hole punch notch at the center top just right below the earpiece. You can also find here its in-display fingerprint scanner that's placed lower than usual. For buttons and ports, found on the left side are the power/lock button together with the volume rocker. Up top are the secondary loudspeaker, microphones, and an IR blaster. Then down at the bottom are its USB Type-C port, main loudspeaker, microphone, and a card slot for dual nano SIMs or an NM card. So yeah, there's no microSD card slot here. At the back, we have a huge protruding camera module with two large circles for its quad cameras and LED flash. That's 3 lenses on the top circle and the telephoto shooter plus the flash at the lower circle. There's also a rear microphone here. Compared to its predecessor, the P50 Pro lets go of the frosted finish and goes with a glossy one. So expect a lot of fingerprints and smudges on it if you don't use a case. Despite the upgrades, the P50 Pro is pretty much in the same size as the P40 Pro. It's tall, so you'll need your other hand to help you with the top parts of the screen, but the narrow frame makes it easy to grip. We're glad to know that the IP68 water and dust resistance are also retained, so you don't have to worry about accidental splashes or some rain. When it comes to display, the P50 Pro packs a 6.6-inch 120Hz OLED screen with a max resolution of 2700 by 1228 pixels and a pixel density of 450 pixels per inch, which is a very sharp screen for its size. In the display settings, you get the option to use Smart Resolution that dynamically lowers the screen resolution to 2025 by 921 if you want to save more battery life. You can also switch the 120Hz refresh rate to the standard 60Hz or on dynamic mode, so it will automatically choose the best refresh rate for the apps you're using. But besides the high refresh rate, there's also a touch sampling rate of 300Hz on board for an even smoother experience. In our day-to-day use, we can say that this curved OLED panel is dashing. It honestly reminds me of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra's panel. You can expect great outer visibility, punchy colors, and deep blacks. You also have the option to choose between normal and vivid color modes to suit your preference. Other than that, there's dark mode and eye comfort to make the viewing experience more comfortable. When it comes to sound quality, the P50 Pro has dual loudspeakers and I must say that it sounds great. Although it won't match an external speaker, the bass here is more noticeable compared to other smartphones. We can even feel the back panel vibrate when delivering bassy beats. In other words, this P50 Pro can provide a really nice audio experience when watching videos or playing games. Talk about software, the P50 Pro runs on EMUI 12.0.1, which according to Geekbench is based on Android 11. As usual, it doesn't use Google services and it runs on Huawei mobile services, which includes the app gallery and Huawei's cloud services. If you need to find a specific app, just use the search box. If the app is not available, Petal Search will automatically kick in and give you a link to reliable APK websites such as APK Pure. From there, you can download the APK and sideload the app. Now, if you need to access Google services such as Gmail, Calendar, Google Docs, or YouTube, you can do so via the browser. You know what? We have already grown accustomed to the lack of Google services in Huawei mobile devices, so we can say that we learned to live with the workarounds or the lack of it. Now, those already invested in the Huawei ecosystem will still benefit from Huawei exclusive features like distributed file system that lets you access the phone's files through a laptop. Then there's Huawei Share, Meet Time, and multi-screen collaboration. What we didn't like, however, is the number of recommended and pre-installed apps preloaded on the home screen. It is just bombarded. We do hope Huawei would stop doing this and let people start with a cleaner home screen so they don't have to remove them one by one. Performance-wise, this phone is equipped with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 4G SoC that's paired with an Adreno 660 GPU, 8GB of RAM, and 256GB of storage. While performance, as expected, is very good. Applications run fast and launch quickly, and we didn't encounter any issues when multitasking. When it comes to gaming, it can easily handle the games we throw at it, including Honkai Impact 3 in its highest graphic settings. It's smooth and we only felt the usual warming at the back, which is still comfortable to hold even without the case. If you're interested in the benchmark scores that we got, we'll flash them now. Quickly on security, you can unlock the device via its in-display fingerprint scanner or through facial recognition. They both work snappy, although you might need to adjust your finger towards the lower part of the display for the fingerprint scanner. As for connectivity, the Huawei P50 Pro covers almost everything you might need for mobile connectivity. It has Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, GPS, USB-C, and an IR blaster. There's no headphone jack though, but it's expected in flagships today. What will raise eyebrows though is the lack of 5G connectivity. Yes, this 2021 flagship only runs on 4G LTE, which can be attributed to the trade challenges and global chip shortage the company is facing. This might hold back interested buyers, but the scenario will leave them asking if they really need 5G or not. Those who really want to take advantage of 5G in their area might find this a deal breaker, considering its competitors already have 5G. On the other side of the spectrum, or those who don't rely much on 5G can sweep this under the rug and focus on the other benefits this phone has to offer. In the end, it really depends on your needs. Now, keeping this device running is a 4360 mAh battery, which is still a decent capacity in today's flagships and can still last a whole day of light to moderate use, as long as you use the power-saving features like the dynamic refresh rate and dark mode. PCMark's battery test rated its battery life at 12 hours and 19 minutes, which is not bad. Then in our standard video loop test, we got 13 hours and 18 minutes of playback under 120Hz on. Recharging the device won't be an issue as it supports 66 watts wired fast charging with the included Huawei Supercharge adapter and cable. It also supports 50 watts wireless fast charging, but you'll have to purchase the wireless charger separately. Okay, so Huawei's P series is known for its cameras, and the P50 Pro has nice upgrades over its predecessor. We still have Leica optics with the 50-megapixel main sensor, but with a larger aperture at f1.8. The periscope telephoto camera now has a high-res 64-megapixel, although optical zoom is toned down a bit to 3.5 times versus the 5 times that we get on the P40 Pro. The ultra-wide lens was lowered to 13 megapixel and it also supports macro shots. We don't get a time-of-flight 3D camera here, but now it has a 40-megapixel black and white shooter. This works with the 50-megapixel color sensor to capture more light. Huawei says that the camera system also uses Huawei XD optics, Super Color Filter System, True Chroma Image Engine, Super HDR technology, and Huawei XD Fusion Pro Image Engine. In essence, the P50 Pro uses these technologies to capture brighter and sharper photos with better color and dynamic range than the P40 Pro. While we don't have the P40 Pro to compare it to, we can definitely say that the cameras work great from bright to dim conditions. Shots taken using the main cameras are very sharp with accurate colors. The ultra-wide camera also produces sharp images, although it tends to enhance the blues. Its AI is also good in identifying scenes and applying the right tweaks in processing the image. It even automatically applies nicely done bokeh effects even for subjects without much separation from the background. It's nice. The zoom capabilities are powerful as well, and we have nothing to complain about as long as we're using the optical zoom. We sometimes even use it for macro shots. Moreover, the image stabilization works well and it gives you the opportunity to keep the camera steady for a couple of seconds to ensure that the image are blur-free. Now, digitally zooming past 10 times will degrade the quality. Images have significantly reduced sharpness and become more susceptible to noise. If we're talking about low-light shots, it can easily handle dim conditions. As long as there's a little light source, the P50 Pro can work with it. However, the autofocus starts to become a challenge in really dark conditions. Since it's dark, you won't know if it has focused on something until you press the shutter. The phone will then take a moment to implement post-processing algorithms to enhance the image. It's quite a hit or miss, as sometimes you get a nicely illuminated image or you get an out-of-focus image peppered with noise and inaccurate colors. So yeah, take multiple shots. As for selfies, the 13-megapixel can produce sharp images with a slight skin smoothing going on even when beauty mode is turned off. To be honest with you, you will really recognize some post-processing here. But it still looks good anyways. We like that it's capable of ultra-wide shots and has a portrait and night mode. Now for videos, you can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second. The quality is good with a high dynamic range and accurate colors. You can also switch between lenses while recording, however the transition is not smooth and you'll notice the abrupt switch in lenses. Thankfully, the stabilization also works well and was able to minimize shakes while walking. Alright guys, to conclude this review, we can say that this Huawei P50 Pro presents a situation where you can't have everything. You get me? It has a beautiful design, gorgeous display, fantastic speakers, great performance, and amazing cameras. Those features alone make a very competitive flagship device. But the lack of 5G adds another hurdle to an almost perfect device. I mean, just imagine if it had 5G and Google mobile services. Nonetheless, the pros definitely outweighs the cons. If priced correctly and you can see yourself navigating through its imperfections, this Huawei P50 Pro is still an amazing smartphone to have. If you're wondering about the price, it's still yet to be announced, so we'll update you guys in the description box once it's available. And yeah, that wraps up this review, guys. Do share with us what you think about this Huawei P50 Pro in the comments. And like usual, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this is Justin, and don't forget to wash your hands and stay safe.